All right, and welcome to Crumb Bum Deluxe. I'm your host, Crumb Bum Deluxe, or Crumb for short. We're going to watch the Street Fighter trailer, and we're going to go ahead and judge it accordingly. Just released yesterday. I like the details of the World Warrior Tournament 2, so I think we know it's going to be a tournament film. I think I got a lot to say about this, what I'm seeing here, so we'll just let it sink in. Watched it a few times, actually. I'm just trying to kind of figure out, organize some of the thoughts that I have in mind here.
Were you gonna show?
It'd be interesting to see what the narrative they've chosen to use as their emotional core through the film. Does it need to be interesting, or does it just need to be street fighting stuff? I think at least it needs an emotional story at its core to be interesting and compelling to keep the fighting going. Some of what I'm seeing is interesting, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel right.
Still reckless.
I love Andrew Koji. I'm gonna go see it for sure, but Koji is getting my butt in the seat, that's for sure.
This tournament is not what it seems. We have to be ready.
I don't know if it looks like they're focusing in on Santino as Ken, and I don't know if he's interesting enough. Is he gonna just be a bratty superstar, or can he be something better, you know? They make that stupid joke about her thighs. I think they could have just sidestepped some of that pervy stuff. The actress looks good, but she doesn't have those super muscly, crazy thighs like in the games. And the fighting just looks so cheap. Wire work, CG compositing, like that looks just completely Scorpion King level bad CG. Sorry, I know I talked through the whole thing, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know that the people who are making this film are really in love with the things that make Street Fighter great, and mostly cherry picking, maybe not even cherry picking. I think it seems like they've taken a good enough time to take a look at what they're trying to make and emulating a lot of what it looks like. But from everything I've seen of this Street Fighter film so far, best words to describe it are cheap, and from now we're getting some of the screenplay tidbits, you know, and it just feels a little trashy. And the thing is, I love Street Fighter, so maybe I'm too precious about it at this point. But it just feels like a minor upgrade to what they did in the 90s. And I predict it'll get by on more fan service stuff and references than anything, because it's going to make its money, I think. You know, it's not going to be probably Super Mario level big or anything like that, but it's definitely going to make its money at the box office. So maybe there's potential for a sequel to get better, you know, and by comparison to the new Mortal Kombat film coming out, like, it's like night and day. Mortal Kombat looks so much more compelling as a story and so much more artfully and carefully done. And maybe it is just a budget thing, you know, maybe it is just that the smaller budget is what we're seeing and that's what it looks like. But, you know, I beg to differ. I'm from the Rodriguez school of Rebel Without a Crew. You know, you find a way to make it look like a bigger budgeted thing than what it is. You know, think outside of the box, get creative. And to me, like I said, a lot of this stuff just looks really cheap. You know, Ryu's gloves, if you get a good look at those, like immediately first image of the first trailer were those gloves, and I was just like, how cheap they look. Like, you know, something you get off of Temu if you're like training martial arts or something. I'm not gonna go through and nitpick everything. You know, I think like the costuming, I think in general just looks kind of like cheap and obvious. You know, I have no problem with how they're setting Ken up or anything. I think they should have went for a more game accurate haircuts. You know, it'd have been nice to see him kind of go for the characterization of the games, but you know, for some reason they decided not to give him those Ken bangs. It probably looks stupid, you know. That's not a big gripe, but it's just disconcerting, you know. I like the Vagabond Ryu look. He's you know, on the road and hiding, it seems, training. You know, I can understand using this narrative of Ryu and Ken being at odds with one another. It makes for good drama. You know, and just this guy just doesn't sell me the role the way I would want it to be sold. He's just coming off as like a Logan Paul type of character when, you know, sure, Ken is cocky, sure, Ken is an actor and everything, but he's also got heart. He's also noble, you know. So I don't know, maybe they have it in the picture and I just don't see it yet. All the fighting, all the martial arts in this film look terrible. I'm just going to say that straight up. The stunts and the martial arts look so... This... what is this called? The tornado kick or whatever? Tatsumaki Senpukaku. This thing looks cheap as hell. Horrible. This guy... I like him in some stuff. I like him appropriately cast in things. Das Malchin. But as Bison, please, no thank you. I'm sure that guy can be fine. You know, he's like a superstar. He's probably a terrible actor. He's probably not going to see him outside of the mask, because why would you, right? The superstar, he doesn't take his mask off either, so that's going to be just a cheap henchman who barely says anything, whatever. The logo's okay. Images like this look kind of cool. The World Warrior Tournament 2 thing, like, you know, it's a thing. Shadaloo is a thing. The icon, the logo up there. Guile. I mean, come on, man. I actually like Cody Rhodes cast as Guile. I think he should have been more of like a gruff, kind of tough as leather kind of American soldier. And I know the hair is like, people are gonna be saying he looks just like the game. He looks just like the game. But I feel like you could have got away with somewhere in the middle between realistic and whatever the hell this Muppet is on the top of his head. Guy looks worse than Trump with this thing. But hey, I don't know. I don't even know if he can act, but but I think, you know, they got it for sake of it. Yes, it looks like Street Fighter, I'll give you that, but does it look like any care or inspiration went into making it a believable look? Hardly. The casting of Eric Andre, and I don't even dislike Eric Andre, but the casting of Eric Andre in this movie, again, along with Andrew Schultz, reinforces the greasy feeling of the trashiness of this movie that I'm sensing so far. Just thinking out loud here. The lighting, the color, it looks like kind of cool, but like way overdone, way oversaturated, and just kind of badly lit, to be honest with you. But, you know, yeah, I'm nitpicking away here. Let me see.
Still reckless.
This seems like it'd be a fun scene, and the choreography looks like it'll be pretty nice, because there's not a bunch of outlandish over-the-top shit happening. But even that outlandish over-the-top shit stuff should not feel cheap. Dalsum looks, again, like Street Fighter, but kind of dumb. I would rather my images, my visuals feel believable than look cheap. I don't know. I'm okay to be wrong. This, your rubbery CG, super goofy. Admittedly, it doesn't need to be the most realistic or the most deep thing ever, but it also doesn't have to feel this fucking stupid. There it is, the damn this Dragon Punch, this stuff here. I'm telling you, this is what's gonna kill this movie, is this extremely cheap wire work that is gonna be so obvious and so cringy that Mortal Kombat 2 comes out next month, I think, doesn't it? I don't know what I'm talking about when they come out. But this does not look good to me at all. Of course, I'm going to go see it. But that's my take. That's what I have to say for now. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully, it gets it right in a few areas. And there is stuff in it that I think looks satisfactory at best. But, who knows? Thanks for watching. This is Crumb. I'm going to go hang out in my spaceship.